Okay, good evening to and welcome to the fifth episode of Come Closer. This is a talk and share experience about the true human nature. And like all in other sessions, we prepared something special for you today with Tadeja. Tadeja, how are you?
Good. I'm
Good.
very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Feeling very loved
According
at
to
the
the
moment.
topic.
Yeah.
Let's explore what this is. So great to see some of you coming back as well, and hi to all the new people joining this episode. This session will be recorded, and it's already recorded until we come to the experiential part. Then we will switch the recording off. Let me just yes.
one thing, Uroš. We record only Uroš and myself, so you can freely open your cameras. You will not be seen in the recordings. We want to respect your privacy, so it's just the two of us recording.
Yeah, great to mention today. Thank you. Let me just introduce what in this episode it's all about. It's about love and kindness. Some interesting things happened, and I will share a story with you. This is why this topic popped up in our minds, and we put it on today's topic. And because love is probably one of the most frequently used words in the world, and we use it in many contexts and for many purposes. We do all sorts of things in the name of love. So, but do we really know what love is and how love is related to kindness? In this fifth episode, we will discover what coming closer means to love and kindness, and how both are affecting our lives and work. Or at least we will try to touch this topic and give you some material to think about and experience. Also, as it is in our practice, you will be participating in the talk and experience as well. But before that, who are we and why are we doing that? Tadeja Bradaš is a business spiritual teacher, practitioner, and teacher of non-dual Kabbalistic healing by Jason Schulman. And she's also the founder of School of Ethics, the path to the true self. And she's doing a lot of things in the educational field, exploring the human nature.
Thank you, Uroš. So who is Uroš? Uroš is my friend. Better and better friend. More I know him, more I like him, more I love him. So yes, Uroš is a business purpose and identity coach, author of Identity Circle, founder of the Hacking of Time workshops, time hacking workshops, sorry, and many more. You know, a person you can rely on, a person you can find sanctuary with. I'm really blessed with having you in my life, Uroš.
Thank the same. I could say the same to you. Thanks. I'm a little bit touched. I didn't expect.
That was my intention.
Thanks. Now I'm coming back to the format of this session. The first, we'll have a short talk about love and kindness with all of us involved. Then we will do experiential exercise. After the exercise, we'll have some time for reflect. And the purpose of the meeting is to bring you closer to yourself so you can make a step closer to knowing your true nature. But before we dive into this topic, let's just all devote a couple of minutes to bring ourselves in this time and place. So I kindly invite you, Tadeja, to just open the space and bring us into this meditation.
Yeah, thank you, Uroš. Today we will repeat meditation that we did last time, and it's called inviting everything in. And the purpose of this meditation is that we address as many parts of ourselves as possible and invite them to be present with us here, invite them to our awareness, to become active agents in our presence. So just sit comfortably. You can lay down. There's no limitations about. You can also walk if you like. I mean, I don't mind if you do the walking meditation, but then you will not be able to, I mean, if you're going to walk, keep your eyes open. Otherwise, close your eyes and just be aware of your breathing for a couple of moments. The fact that you don't have to change anything, and you just observe your lungs expanding and collapsing and making it possible for you to be alive. And how amazing is that? Just notice. And then allow your mind to think about who you are. And maybe you think, oh, you who is really curious about what is kindness and love, come and be here with me. And you who's maybe anxious in this moment, come, sit next to me, be here. And you who was hesitating to come and still came, be here. Sit with me. And you who is questioning, what is love? Where do I find love? How can I love? How can I be loved? Come, be here with me. And if you think of any other part of yourself, just invite them in. Invite them to be here, present with you. And when you start thinking that you have invited just every part of you that you could remember, just think about those parts that you don't know yet, that you had to stash away because of the difficult circumstances in your childhood or some other trauma. Just name it. You who had to be stashed away, who had to be hidden, whom I don't know, come and be here with me. And now slowly, in your own rhythm, open your eyes, look around, look at your screen, look at the faces of the people, and just maybe stretch a little and bring your awareness back to this room, to this session.
Thank you, Tadeja. It's amazing how many parts, how to sit with so many parts of myself. I'm always amazed. Okay, we have some time for you to present yourself shortly if you want, the name and word or two about yourself. And if you feel to share, also you can share how was for you this meditation. So I'm opening the mics and just invite you to speak. Who would like to go first?
Okay, Uroš, I will.
Great.
Okay.
Thanks.
My name is Goran. I'm here, I think, the third time. I'm really always looking forward to speak with you all. I'm looking forward to gain new experiences, and I can also share mine. And this is something that it's really becoming, something that I really look forward in every month because it's really something we connect to each other. And the best part is because we meet with people you never met before, and I have these beautiful experiences with people that I never met before, and I opened myself. I was vulnerable, and so were they. And this was connection, and I can say that it was love. It was love. And about this, what we had now, this experience with meditation, I'm now also practicing being in the moment, being in the now. And this is something spectacular, miraculous. I really want also you to feel that, because being in the now, it's all we have, being now here, this is it. Not the past, not the future, because every day is a now moment. And when you feel this, you are actually stepping out of time. You really do. So this is something, that we should all practice all day, every day.
Yep.
Because from that now moment also you can gain more love. So, and to know yourself more. So this is what I want to say.
Thank you.
Goran.
Thank you,
Good
Goran.
part.
And I just want to add something, that being in the now is actually one of the most kind things that we can do to ourselves and others. Just think about that. It's very simple. I'm not saying it's easy. If you're practicing this, Goran, you probably know that sometimes it's actually very difficult. And it's the same with kindness. And I'll talk about it later, how difficult sometimes is to be kind to the self. But these two things are actually very connected, being in the moment and being kind to the self. It goes one with another. When you are in the now, you're kind to yourself. When you're kind to yourself, it brings you in the now.
Thank you. Thanks, Goran, for opening this topic.
Great.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Some other comments or some other sharing on or check in on this topic. Hi.
Hi,
Matthias.
Yeah, hey everyone else as well. I'm here for the first time. I think we were talking for the first time, Uroš and Tadeja and everyone else. Yeah. I'm Matias, as you see, and my name. I could change it. So, something about me. I am who I am, and I like it, and I want to like it more. So, inviting the parts of myself. It's funny because that's what I do a lot lately in the last year. And just the last December and January, I've been working with a part of myself who I kind of put away and locked away. The mage part, the part that has invites all the magic in my life and can, you know, transform other people's life. So this inviting this here and all the other parts is always magical because we have so much of ourselves. Yes. And yeah, for me, it's always powerful. So thank you.
Thank you, Matias. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Hi there.
Hi.
Hey, hi.
Good evening. Yeah, I'm also here for the first time, as Matias mentioned. I know Uroš from another time, and yeah, I mean, I felt the connection with Uroš straight away. I think we understand each other. I'll just shortly say what I do. I'm a burnout bye-bye mindset coach, and I have a Gestalt background. But what was really interesting when you were introducing the subject of today, I already noticed that I'm realizing that how much it's easier for me to be kind or show love to others, and how it is something that I really pay attention, and something that I strive forward to do the same for me. And when you were leading the meditation, Tadeja, you know, when you were inviting different parts of ourselves in, the smile of mine kept growing bigger and bigger on my face. And I was kind of curious why this is happening. And I realized also, like, it became like, you know, we were trying to sit in a circle. Yeah. You know, all the parts of me in a circle. And I also know that like belonging or being part of is something that is also important to me. So yeah, it was a very short but very powerful meditation, and I really enjoyed it. I'm really grateful for it. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. And you can practice it yourself.
Yeah.
You can
Thank you, Daria. Yeah. Some other check-ins.
Yes, I will, Dominic.
Dominic, welcome.
Yes, in connection with meditation, I felt it's connected with some emotions in the background that I'm not feeling good with them. So if I'm pushing my emotions away, then I'm also pushing parts of me away. Yep. So it's like there is some shame, some guilt. I think it's the most. It's with some traumas in my life, in connection with some traumas that I already bring to my consciousness, but I think there are still some that are unconscious, and I feel that there are some parts of me that I don't know, that I still don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Dominic, for sharing this. I just would like to put a short comment. It's in the light of today's topic. You know, when we encounter such situation that you have during this meditation, because it can happen to anyone, you know, to encounter emotions that you don't want to feel because it's painful, that you encounter the parts of the self that are ashamed, feel guilty. What I do when this happens to me, I address them. I call upon them and I say, oh, you who are ashamed, come and be here with me. You who don't want to be ashamed, who is ashamed of being ashamed, come and be here with me. I always make a step back and try to envelop the part that is painful, hurtful, troublesome, because it's in our nature to push that away. That is what we did in our childhood. When something was difficult, when something was painful, we tried to either push it away or we escaped. But when we envelop this painful part with, let's say, a cozy, warm, soft blue blanket, it's like we are mothering or fathering a small child. And that makes the pain bearable. So I would advise you, Dominic, just make a step or two back and say, oh, you who feel bad because of being ashamed or feeling guilty, come and be here with me.
It's feeling like a balloon that is like growing,
Expanding, yes.
expanding. Yes, it
Yes.
feels like that there is more space for me there. I feel it like
Yes.
that. Yes.
Yes. Yes. And sometimes this is the most what we can do.
Mm.
You know, expand a little, you know, soften our narrow, rigid boundaries and expand a little. It's extremely liberating.
I have to shut down my my head.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
my inner voice.
Yeah. Yeah, and invite that head as well.
Okay. Yeah.
You, my head, who wants to be in charge of everything, come in, be here.
Yeah, great point. So we entered pretty much really, we open up the topic for love and kindness.
Yes.
So I suggest we move forward, and all the rest I will invite you into the conversation and sharing later, so that we make sure that we go through the experiential part as well. And at this point, I would like to share a story about love and kindness that happened to me 1 month ago. It started snowing, and it was quite a lot of snow on that day. And 1 month ago, and I needed to deliver something with my car, important thing to a person in another village where I live now. And I needed a decision to make. First, I needed to choose between two roads, and it was quite a lot of snow already. And I was pretty confident that I can make it because I have a car with 4-wheel driving. And for one choice was to choose the path that is very short and narrow. And that part, actually, that road, small path leads to the main road, and it's really close to the house. And the second road is a flat road on the plain, but you need to take it all around the village. And playful part of me said, yes, let's go, let's enjoy the snow, let's do the short path. and I will make it. But somewhere in my mind, it's really big risk, because it's really narrow, and car can actually slide back and fall. And this is what it pretty much happened. I went up the hill, somewhere in the middle, the car stopped, it couldn't move anymore, and I start sliding back. And from one, let's say, little joke or little courage, it became a catastrophic situation. My car turned like this, and I was almost falling into the bushes, into the valley. So it could pretty much turn around. And why I'm saying all this to you is what I actually start dealing with a lot of my emotions. So first, before emotion, it was finding a solution. So immediately I tried to find a solution in the village. I went to one neighbor, talk with him if he can pick me up with the big machine and stuff like that. And it was in the middle of the night, so visibility was really bad. So we decided actually to leave the car and actually start saving another day in the morning, because it's really close to the house where the car stopped. And now you can imagine me. I was worrying all night. I couldn't sleep. I was calculating how much damage will I make with the car, how many people next day should be involved in this rescuing of the car and stuff like that. So I was really, really worried, but not only worried, I was ashamed. I was really, really angry on myself, what I did it. I was sometimes I felt that night hopeless, what to do. So it was really, really a lot of emotions that popped up in me. And somewhere in the middle of the night, I just relaxed myself. I said, okay, Uroš, solution will come. You don't need to worry so much about it. It always comes some ideas and some great things. And it actually happened. In the morning, I woke up, and simply I remembered that I have a car insurance and that I can call this assistance traffic support, that they can pick me up. And they actually closed the road because it's on the section where it's very, very dangerous. They closed the road. They solved the problem in a half an hour, and I actually didn't need to pay anything. So, and then I discussed this with Tadeja, mentioning this story, because I was really freaked out that night, and I was really, really happy in the morning. I felt like, I climbed the hill, I solved the problem. I was really happy about it. And I remember this sentence that Tadeja told me, because we heard each other in the morning, that when I gave the space to myself, when I gave the space to kindness, so I was more kind with myself, actually I gave the space to the others. In the morning, I met some people from the village who came there and see what was going on. So I made some special friendships. So a lot of things opened when I opened space for myself. And this is actually the foundation of today's talk. It seems love and kindness are very important things for human. And I invite you today to tell us more. How is that? How is this related? We don't hear you.
Yeah,
great.
okay.
Now we hear.
Yeah. Maybe I should start with a short comment to your story to make it more clear. When we talked after what happened, and I noticed you were very upset. And what happens to us when we touch such situations, and There's many such situations in our everyday life. When we get upset, we encounter some sort of dissonance, and we are used to go into our old pattern of blaming ourselves for being, I don't know, irrational, stupid, not paying attention too much, whatever was in our personal history. That is very unkind to ourselves. And if we manage to put this aside and say, well, like it happened to you, well, I can't do anything right now. It's better to take a good sleep and think about it in the morning. That was the kindest thing you could do. Because if you would try to do anything, you would actually want to save yourself from doing a bad thing, not save your car from falling into, abyss. And when you did that, when you created this kindness for yourself, where you didn't need to be perfect, room for other people was created around you, and other people could come into your life. And that is the same whenever we do that. When one of the acts of kindness is that we always return back to be in our own shoes. There's a lot of not being in our own shoes. We try to be something, or we try to reach something. And also, I would like to connect this with what Goran said. When we are in the moment, in the now, this is actually being in our own shoes. And when we are in our own shoes, okay, no, I'll do it this way. When we are not, for example, you and Uroš, if I step into your shoes, we are both without shoes. You don't have yours and I don't have mine. And it's a lose-lose situation. When I step into my shoes as an act of kindness, we both have shoes. I have my shoes and you have your shoes. So being kind to yourself is always opening the space. Let's just think about that, what that actually means, and why it's so difficult to be in your own shoes. And if you have any thoughts or reflections, just open your mic and enter this discussion.
Because it was not accepted.
Yep. Something was not accepted. Something was judged.
Yes.
And we learned not to like that part of ourselves. And
So
every time we are challenged in a way that this part that was not accepted pops up, we try to shut it down.
So to please others, we put another shoes on.
Yep. Yeah. To be a good boy when we want to be naughty. There's time for us to be naughty, to be playful, and to, do some crazy stuff. But we have to be a good boy or a girl. That means we are not in our own shoes. We have very little choices as children to do it differently, but as adults, we have infinite number of choices. I'm not saying all of them are easy. Sometimes is one of the most difficult things you have to do or you can do to yourself is to be kind to yourself. I hear very much lately, last, I don't know, decade, maybe 2 decades, just love yourself and everything will be okay. And my hair goes like this.
Yes.
You know, even when I had very long hair, it would go like this. I would look like freak. I mean, it's true. When you come to the point where you can love yourself, it's much easier. But how can you love yourself when you don't think about yourself, that you are a good person?
Or another question, how do you do that? And how to love myself? How do you do that?
Yeah. I mean, I like to put these two qualities apart. Love and kindness, they are not one and the same things. For me, love is actually very personal, and it's more, let's say, action-oriented, requires something from you. Where kindness is more impersonal, it's more universal quality. And it's by its nature, because the universe is kind, the nature is kind, life is kind. Just think about what this universe is offering us. What is it giving to us? You know, our bodies that function in an amazing way. It gives us this planet where we have all the plants and animals, and you know, we can have food out of them. We can produce all sorts of stuff. I mean, if that isn't kind, I don't know what is. You would hear, I've been there when someone would say, well, love is the vehicle of the life. And partially that is true. But for me, like I said, love is very personal and requires me to do something. Where kindness is just my basic nature. I strongly believe that humans are kind in their nature. It's very difficult sometimes to live kindly because we don't know how to do that. We didn't learn as children because people were not kind to us, or maybe they tried to be kind to us, but they were not kind to each other. And that also can, you know, create some, what's the word that I'm looking here for? Dissonance in understanding. And it's actually very easy to be kind and love yourself when everything's okay. When you're happy, when everything goes your way, when everything is just, you know, popping into your life with no effort, with positive effects in your life. But when life doesn't show itself in its best form, when you encounter problems, when you, like Uroš with the car, you know, did something crazy, you know, irrational in the moment that threatened to, you know, have at least middle time, long term effects, bad effects on his life. You know, he would be without the car, he would have extra expenses, and that's only the material part. and there was this inner immaterial part that was blaming the self, not feeling well. That's the moment when it's when it's difficult to be kind. That's why being kind can be very difficult. Am I making any sense here?
Yes.
Yeah, because I see some faces getting very worried.
My question was like, when is such a situation as Uroš described, you know, and you're unkind to you, how to get in this moment, how to get conscious and say, stop it, stop being unkind to you. How to stop,
Yeah.
how to be like,
Yeah, it's difficult.
yeah.
But you can start with, say, Dominic, stop.
Stop.
Yeah. Period. Nothing else. Just stop. Don't try to figure out what you have to stop.
Okay.
Just stop. Or you can say to yourself, okay, fuck, I don't know what happened here.
Okay.
Sometimes it's help to not know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'd like to hear from you. What do you think? Are there any thoughts, any questions, any disagreements with me? I like disagreements.
Maybe I have a question, Tadeja.
Yeah.
What is the difference between being kind and being nice? Like pleasing somebody? Because I see it oftentimes in men group. We deal with this syndrome of being Mr. Nice Guy, or sometimes I also see with women being nice girl.
Yeah. Very good question. Thank you for that question. Yes, it's a huge difference. For me, it's a huge difference. Well, of course, we have to take into consideration a little wider context, where being a nice guy, labeling someone with being a nice guy is just one way of distortion of the use of niceness. You know, it's something that through history of humankind, especially the last, I don't know, century or couple of centuries, or maybe even I lately was watching a lot of Victorian movies and serials from the Victorian time. I'm not saying that this is where this Mr. Nice started, but there was a lot of, how should I call it, masking going on in the Victorian period in England, and where everybody was playing nice, and in fact they were, you know, very grumpy and bitter, maybe envy below that. So there's definitely this distortion present in the society, in the culture, that with being nice, you kind of, you know, lift yourself from being human, because humans are, you know, envy and grumpy and bitter and want to kill from time to time. And these are not the values that would be appreciated in families or in society. Where kindness, for me, like I said, is not personal. It's the way that this universe functions with the perfection of its imperfection, with the perfection of the chaos of the universe, with the fact that everything in this universe is broken and has this major desire to collect all the broken pieces and put them together and to be whole again. That completely changes the understanding of kindness. It's good to be nice, but if you are only nice, that will get you into a lot of trouble. That could bring you into one of the most unkind things that you can do to yourself, because it will force you to suppress what you really want to say, what you really think, what you really want to do. I'm not saying that we should get loose and do whatever we like. That wouldn't be kind to us. Because lately I had one client who really got angry with their parents once they realized that they were really hurt by their parents. And it brought them a lot of pain, feeling that anger towards their parents, because one part of them wanted to kill them, not literally. I mean, they wouldn't take any weapons or use any means to literally kill them, but this force to destroy something that caused you so much pain. And on the other hand, it's not in their nature to be that kind of person. And the kindest thing for them was to admit to themselves that they have this desire, that they touched their killing instinct, and at the same time, they will not act upon them. And we all have such moments in our lives where in the heat of the moment, when we are affected by something very strong, either this is emotion or something did something to us and then caused this emotion. We like to do some things and sometimes we do them. But because it's not in our nature, we tend to blame ourselves. We tend to kill ourselves instead. And these are the moments where if we manage to be kind to ourselves, to say to ourselves, oh, I had this, killing thoughts. I had these bad thoughts about how I want to chop into pieces, that man that was unkind to me. If we just allow this to exist, we don't have to use those parts of ourselves and go against ourselves. That's kindness. And when we are kind to ourselves, we can feel real love. We can feel love to ourselves, we can feel love to others, and we can feel how we are loved.
One comment. Is it kind to me if I allow myself to be to feel hate to my parents, to feel that, you know, is it kind to me that, because I was reading one book that is saying that when we are processing like our connection to parents, and there was like some trauma with our parents, no? That there is normal that you go to this hate, like you know, like you were like talking that they want to kill them, no?
Yeah.
But it was not really that, but the book was saying like this is a normal process that you feel that these emotions, this hate.
Yeah.
But I'm asking myself, is it that am I kind to myself when I feel that? That was the question that was in my head. Yes.
Yeah, it's, you know, to hate is just one of the emotions that we encounter in our life. It's not good, it's not bad, because it's to become hate, to become good or bad, needs to be in a relationship.
Mhm.
As the quality existing in the universe is just one quality. And yes, there's a period in the childhood development where we all hate our parents.
Mhm.
It's actually several such periods in our lives. But the first one is when we are about 4, 3.5, 4, 4.5, 5 years old, where we, for the first time, feel that something is growing in us that is helping us build our identity. And then parents come and say, no, you cannot have this candy. You're a bad girl because you stole the candy from the cabinet. And what we say to our parents, I hate you. Because we don't get what we want when we are 4 years old. It's the most natural thing from children to say, I hate you, I'll kill you, I want you to die. None of those children really mean that. Most of them, they don't really understand the weight of these things, but it's the expression of the existential trauma that we all have, and is not connected with our parents. It's connected with being in this particular form that is extremely limited. And our parents' job is to set the limitations for us. Of course, they are not very good at that, but that's understandable. They didn't have any training, and neither do we that are parents, and we do mistakes. But it's the part of the way we need to be limited persons in order to exist in this form. And that is causing us discomfort, to be very easy with the expressions. And from this discomfort, we want to, what's the word that I'm looking for? We want to go against that. We want to go against those boundaries, against those limitations, and that wakes up our killing instinct. And to hate and rage and be angry is part of our killing instinct. So as is the life force. The life force and our killing instinct have the same force, the same source. So yes, it's important to come to the point where I can say to myself, I really hate my parents because they did that and that to me. And that is kind thing to admit that to yourself. And it's also kind to understand that you will not act upon this hate. But if you don't come into relationship with your own hate, you cannot understand what that is, And if you don't understand what it is, then you will act upon the hate and you will not know what happens to you. And you will hurt people and you will hurt yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I think it's very important also to like see maybe from distance that in every hate there is love behind.
Yes.
So every action, actually every emotion, it derives from kind of universal truth maybe, or kindness, or
Yes.
order, and
Yeah.
all emotions we feel are in the range of this beauty maybe. Yeah,
Definitely.
like then if you remove yourself from the feeling, you can see it clearer, and maybe then you can feel love and kindness again.
Yes. I totally agree. I totally agree. Thank you for sharing that. It's true. It's true. It's not that linear though, you know. If you hate, you love as well. There is one other component that needs to be present. You need to be really in the moment when this happens. You need to bring all your capacity to be aware of, yes, this is the hate, and yes, it's connected with love. If you just draw the line between hate and love, it's not enough. It's too superficial. Needs to what am I trying to say here? It needs to do the whole loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, every emotion and actually every thought is passing by, and I think this is also important, to not identify with everything what it comes.
Yes. Yes, definitely. Not just to not identify with everything that passes by, but to understand that my emotions don't identify me.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not identified with what I feel.
Yeah, yeah. But it's part of my shape and body and limitations which I have.
Yeah.
So I'm accepting it.
It's both. It's part of my body, my limitations, my everything, and I am generating it all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm influenced by it all the time.
So true, yeah. And yeah, here come kindness then. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's I think it was two episodes back or three, we talked about perfection and imperfection.
Yeah, 2 episodes.
Yeah. Perfection and imperfection and kindness and love are actually very much intertwined. Because when we start to understand that perfection and imperfection, they are hand by hand part of ourselves all the time, this is already the act of kindness, to allow ourselves to not be perfect and go for perfection anyway.
Yeah.
At the same time, that is one of the most kind things that we can do. When we fail, when we do mistakes, even sometimes when we hurt people unintentionally, to be able to be kind to the self in those moments. Yeah. that is liberating. That is, I don't have words for it, but I can take you there.
Today, at this point, I suggest we continue with experiential part.
Yeah.
And also experience ourselves how is to be kind and feel love. So I'm passing the microphone to you, Tadeja, to
again. Yay!
lead us through the exercise that you prepared us today. And as we are normally doing it, you will be in a pairs. We will separate you in the special room, and one of you will be a listener and the other will be a talker, and then the role will change. And I suggest we take 5 minutes for each sharing, and today I will give you extra note on what to be careful about.
Yeah. So today exercise, I was thinking a lot what to do, and I actually came up with at least what I think should be very simple. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but it should be very simple. I will split you into breakout rooms 2 by 2. It will be completely random. Uroš and I will stay out, or probably not, because I see one person left us. Uroš, you will probably have to go with someone.
Great.
Yeah. The task for you, the job for you will be share with your partner the moment that you can remember. It can be from very back, from early in your life, or it can be from yesterday. Time span is not important here, but share with your partner the moment that you can think of where you were not kind to yourself. And for the one who is listening, you don't really have to do anything. Just listen. And maybe at the end you can say, I'm sorry this happened to you. Or I hear you. Don't give advice. Don't try to, comfort that person. Just witness them. Witness them in their vulnerability. Is that clear? Yeah, give me thumbs up. Yeah. Okay, so here you go. I'll give you a note. I'll send you a note into the breakout room when to switch. Okay. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You have been listening to the 5th episode of Come Closer. This time, coming closer to love and kindness. We hope you have enjoyed it. See you in March.